Hey y'all, today we're coming with one of everybody's favorite southern banana pudding. Alright, so you're going to need Nilla wafers, you're going to need whole eggs, and you're also going to need vanilla extract, condensed milk, whole milk, and also bananas. That's it. Alright, so what you want to do is start off by pouring your condensed milk into a medium size or a large little pan like this. Alright, and we're just gonna, don't turn the stove on at this point, leave the heat off. We just want to make sure that we pour that in so it's ready to go. So what we're going to do next is go ahead and add our vanilla in there. Alright, and then we're going to beat our eggs. So you can also beat your eggs within your milk, but you can see my little measuring cup over here is pretty full, so I went ahead and beat the eggs in this little bowl first and then transfer them into the milk. So you want to make sure that you beat them well, just like you're making scrambled eggs, and then you can go ahead and add them into your milk. Alright, and then I mixed it up some more. You want to give it another good mix. You see it's pretty much full to the top. Okay, so give it another good mix, and then we're going to get ready to add it into our pan. Okay, so pour it in, and then at this point we can go ahead and turn the heat on. So we're going to stir it, of course, and then we're going to let this cook together for about 10 minutes, and that'll give us enough time to get our cookies ready to go. Okay, so just make sure it's fully incorporated. Of course, the condensed milk is a little thick, so just make sure that you have everything well blended. Okay, so once you're done that, I went ahead and washed the measuring cup I had because it's perfect for measuring about how much cookies that you need. So I filled it up to the top. It's a little bit over 2 cups, but I just filled it up to the top. Alright, because you need about a cup of cookies. This will make a little bit more. So I use the food processor this time, so add your cookies right into your food processor and just blend them into the ground. You know what? Growing up, I always called these vanilla wafers, and they've never been vanilla wafers. They're Nilla wafers. Do y'all do that? You know, sometimes you just hear things growing up and they just stick with you. But these are Nilla wafers. Okay, so after you have your Nilla wafers ground, they should be about like this. You can go ahead and add them right into your pot. Okay, you see the eggs, they're not gonna, if you keep your heat on low, they will not cook. So they'll puff up a little bit like that, but they won't cook. Alright, so we added this in here. This spoon is not going to get it, so I had to go ahead and use a whisk to make sure that you blend everything in together. You know, the cookies, they clump up a little bit in the mixture, but once you get a whisk and go ahead and move everything around, then you're good to go. Okay, so I'm just showing you all how much I had to whisk to make sure that everything was blended. And so I went ahead and added the remainder of the cookies. I didn't add everything at first because I didn't want it to be too thick, but it was just fine. So I went ahead and added the remainder of the cookies. So some people use flour or cornstarch as a thickener for their banana pudding, especially if they're making it from scratch like this. But this is a little trick that I learned from my mom, to use the cookies, and I really like it. It makes the banana pudding like a little bit sweeter. So if you're not into it being really sweet, you may want to just kind of like cut the cookies and maybe use a little bit of flour. But I really like this. It's not like terribly sweet to me, especially since I don't let my bananas get, I typically don't make banana pudding with super ripe bananas. The riper your banana, the sweeter it'll be. So here I'm just mixing. As it heats, we're going to heat this for about 15-20 minutes. It starts to kind of form on the bottom. So that's why you want to continue to stir periodically, whisk it if needed, so it doesn't like clump together. You want it to thicken, but you don't want it to clump together, right? So we're about here where it needs to be, and then I'm going to take it off the heat. If you like a little thicker banana pudding, you want to cook this for a little bit longer. All right. So we're going to get our bananas ready. I just cut them, you know, regular, not too big, not too small. Oh, you peel your banana, and then I just remove all those little strings because, you know, who wants that in their banana pudding? All right, and then just slice it just like so. I even save the corners, y'all. You know, you just throw that in there. It doesn't have to be so perfect and stuff like that. It's all good because you put your cookies on top, and it makes it real pretty anyway, right? Okay, so we got a banana slice, and I sliced all 4 of those. All right, so we're going to use the Pyrex dish this time to lay our banana pudding. You can use the dish of your choice, but I use a 3-quart Pyrex dish. So just lay your cookies on the bottom of your dish, like so. Just try to make it even as possible. I didn't have like a pattern at first, so I had to, restructure, but it ended up being in rows. Okay. I just place them upside down. I don't know why I started doing that. I place them upside down so it's easy for me to just place my bananas on top, because that's how I'm going to arrange the bananas in the dish. Alright, so here we are with the bananas, and I just gave each cookie. I just wanted to kind of be even once I added the pudding on top. Alright, so we're adding our bananas on top, and you see they're pretty much about the same size. So I think that's a little bit important to try to get them the same size as possible so that your banana pudding is not too lumpy. Especially like this banana pudding, we're not putting any meringue or anything on top to make it real fancy and stuff like that. This is just good old-fashioned Southern banana pudding, okay? Alright, so we're about done with those bananas. So go ahead and add about half of your pudding mixture at this point. You see it's been sitting for a while. It's thickened up a little bit, right? Okay, so just pour that right on top. Try to get it as even as possible. As you can see, as it goes into the dish, it spreads out a little bit, okay? It doesn't have to be completely covered. You just want to try to get it mostly covered. And then we're going to add another layer. We're going to repeat. So we added more cookies, and then we added more bananas. Okay, and the same process over again. And I couldn't get the cookies laid directly on top, because now everything is kind of moist and stuff. But just put your cookies on there, in a nice fashion. Kind of put them in between the areas as well. Just really make this your own. There's no, certain way to do it. Just really make it your own. If you like a lot of banana, add more banana. If you like a lot of cookies, if you want to really put those cookies in there, add more cookies. Alright, and so adding more pudding on top. And this is our last layer of pudding. Okay, really get it in the grooves and try to get it as completely covered as possible for what you have left. And it's not going to be perfect, but as much as possible. Alright, and after you've done that, we're going to go ahead and add more cookies on top, our last layer of cookies. So you want to make sure you grab about 2 boxes of cookies to make sure you have enough, since we use cookies in the mix. We use cookies, 2 layers of cookies so far, and then we're adding another layer of cookies on top, right? You don't want to run out of cookies. And some people add cookies on the side, all that type of stuff too. It's really good like that as well. Alright, so after we've added all of our cookies, what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with saran wrap. And what I typically like to do is refrigerate it overnight. You want to refrigerate it probably at least 4 to 6 hours to make sure that you really allow it to set, because it will be too watery if you don't allow it to set properly. So just allow it to go in the refrigerator, leave it alone, cover it. Once you take it out, oh my God, y'all, great Southern banana pudding. So as always, we hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Please like this video, please share it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll definitely catch y'all next time. Thank y'all for all of your support.